Not only does this JSEC live stream have cameras in places no one else does to give us behind the scenes views, we also have cameras placed in some of the historic spaces so that Capitol tour guides like Ron and myself can give you almost kind of like a virtual tour of the Capitol. So here we are looking down at the rotunda.
This rotunda floor, it's about 7,200 square feet, and the angle is giving you a view of a painting. Now, it's called a frieze, and the style is trompe-l'oeil. Yes, I don't speak French well. That's French to trick the eye. And then you see the sprawling painting called The Apotheosis of George Washington, painted by a naturalized citizen, Constantino Bermidi.
To present these custom-made crystal vases commemorating your historic inauguration. Lennox, which you know is a great company, American company, has handcrafted these gifts for the past 9 presidential inaugurations. It is a good thing I don't have to hand them to you personally. They each weigh with the base 32 pounds, but combined 64. But Jill, I know, is very strong and could take them both. Exactly. But the Lennox company is actually based in Bristol, Pennsylvania, which you know, Mr. President, is a mere 132 miles from Scranton, since we know today all roads lead to Scranton. The team at Lennox has worked for months to capture the spirit of this inauguration and your incoming administration. Mr. President, your vase features the White House, and Vice President Harris's features the U.S. Capitol. The gifts represent the hope and the faith the American people have placed in you to move our country forward. Thank you. Thank you.
As Senator Klobuchar mentioned, the Lennox Company is an American company. It's been around since 1889. President Wilson commissioned china for the White House from them, the first set of American-made White House china in 1918. Those lead crystal vases, 17 inches tall, she mentioned they weigh 32 pounds. They're all handmade in Pennsylvania by a craftsman named Peter O'Rourke.
Well, Mr. President, Madam Vice President, while the pandemic has sadly limited our usual hospitality, as others have mentioned, I'm very glad we still carry on some of our favorite inaugural traditions. It's my honor and privilege to help present these flags of our nation that were flown over today's event here at the Capitol. Now, I have to make one point of personal privilege on behalf of the Senate. With all due respect to our distinguished speaker and our colleagues from the House, I have to note, not only did we just swear in a son and daughter of the Senate to these high offices, but indeed both these former senators skipped the House altogether. The Star-Spangled Banner is our greatest symbol of our endurance of the American idea. It flies over this building on triumphant days and on tragic ones, over all factions and all parties. And today this flag flew over our former colleague's inauguration as the very first female Vice President of the United States. So to our very distinguished former colleague, Madam Vice President, please accept this flag with the highest compliments and congratulations of the United States Senate.
Senator McConnell here presenting flags that have flown over the Capitol today during the 59th inaugural ceremonies. Speaker Pelosi, let's listen.
The distinguished leader of the Senate pointed out that he has hosted this lunch for members of the Senate who have become president and vice president. But I have the privilege of giving the flag to the President of the United States, the flag that was flown when you were sworn in, Mr. President. This flag may it reflect all that is said about your inauguration. America United. May it be a symbol.
For watching Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Republic in the United Kingdom. We want to thank everybody from London. We want to thank you people down in Nairobi, those in Paris, Ambassador Maina, those in Kenya in the CBD, Professor Onyali, Douglas Kirimi, Javani Karanja, Kidi Mwanga. Good morning, all of you. First, this show is going to be quick. It is my take. Each of you will state his take, since we don't have her. You state what you feel Joe Biden will bring for you. What will change? How will the world change? How will it change? What benefit will it be to your food on the table? Does the American foreign policy affect your food, your cassava? Does the American foreign policy affect your income, your economy? Are we moving from a culture of isolation to a culture of containment? What will happen to countries like Zimbabwe that have sanctions? Countries like Zimbabwe that has sanctions, what will happen to them? Viewers, wherever you are in the world, these are some of the topics that we are going to discuss. And believe me or not, it is a very interesting topic for everybody in the world to see why every country in Africa should celebrate, why joy or not celebrate. Each African country has its own interests. What will this bring to the British, to the British people, for example? Already in Europe, Britain stands on its own as from 31st of December. It broke away from the European Union. It is no longer part of the European Union. The European Union foreign policy. Britain is a founder member of the NATO. With this change, Trump had revoked any cooperation. Trump has silenced anything to do with Iran. The nuclear weapon agreements between the European Union and Iran were discarded by Mr. Trump. He took a decision to kill the terrorists so-called commanders in Iran. You know very well, he went on television and said, we finished him. We waited for him to come from the airport and precisely hit the car where he was traveling. Will the foreign policy of the United States change? How will it affect Kenya? How will it affect Uganda? Today, as we speak, democratic elections on the continent of Africa have never been democratic. I've never seen a democratic, apart from South Africa, which produces democratic elections where people vote and go home. The rest of the elections in Africa are elections that are held under secrecy, and under very terrible conditions. So, the new world order, did it begin yesterday? What effects will it have on you? As Professor Nyari, a lecturer, what will you tell your students? Have we moved from a country which tells us to wear skirts and remove trousers? Is our cotton going to be bought in America? AGOA, will it affect us? Kenya had signed special trade cooperation with the United States. How will Kenya be affected? Kidi Mwaga, Kirimi, all of you, Java and Karanja, students of this type of political movement, the dynamics of political science as it moves around the region, Great Lakes region. How will Museveni survive? Will the new regime in America allow human rights to be trampled on? Will it allow a Bob Wine to be kept incommunicado in his house without food, water, electricity, medical care? Will there be regime change, encouraged, supported, equipped, supplied by the West? Remember, this is George Soros' government. I don't know whether people know that. Any policy analyst on African continent, wherever you are, must be prepared to balance the George Soros as much as you can. Be very happy that Biden has won, because Clinton and Trump was a pushover, was a bully. He called Africa shithole. We are shithole. Are we still shithole? But the regime coming, if you look at the elections in Uganda, isn't it shithole? You win the election, allegedly, steal it, then you go after the opponents who took part in the elections. Then, what does that mean?
You start beating him up.
You start beating up the guys who took part in an election. My take on this, and that's why I brought this topic. I wanted you people, each of you, to take your take. Don't this story of Maina telling us this is what we are bad people. No, Maina, today on this show, I would like you to tell us what's your take. Because every day you dine with imperialists. We don't know what you tell them. Every day you dine with imperialists. We don't know what you tell them. The point here that I'm trying to make is, what can we do to change Africa? What is the policy on Somalia, for example? How will it affect us as neighbors of the Somali people? The United States of America pulled out of America, out of Somalia. What is the security situation in the Great Lakes region? Viewers all over the whole world, wherever you are, these are some of the cardinal points, the points that we want to make tonight. This morning, I want to thank my panel of Ambassador Maina from Paris, Kidi Mwaga from Nairobi, a lawyer, Javan Karanja, a journalist, Douglas Kirimi Budi, upcoming governor of Meru, and a senior activist following the footsteps of Dr. David Matanga, myself, and Professor Gerard Onyari, a conflict resolution expert in the region. What is your take? Trump canceled World Health Organization. Trump canceled it. World Health Organization. Trump canceled each and everything. ICC. Trump canceled immigration. He doesn't want black people to come to America. Latinos, Mexicans, built a wall. Is this wall going to be brought down?
That's been stopped.
Elections in Africa. As we speak now, Mr. Bob Wine is still under custody, not knowing what wrong he has done. Tanzania, elections were over. The entire opposition is scattered in Canada, in Britain, in Europe, in Belgium. They don't know what they have done. They only took part in an election. Central African Republic, we still have, and I don't want this lazy argument of Mr. Maina all the time telling me that because there is no telephone in Central African Republic, so rebels should move and take over. We want to know, what can you do as, how will the US help us? Will it help? I have asked Maina about Cameroon, but every time he dodges. I don't know why. So today, I think I'll pin him down.
Yeah, today you can get the answer.
Yes, I'll get the answer and I'm happy. And I hope you have brought the answer of Mr. Mahamat Faki. You must have talked to him last night, your brother. So we want to find out what ails Africa. How is Africa prepared? Are we prepared? Are we going to be told what we should do? And we run quickly and fall in the River Nile? Yes, there are some things from the West that are not African. There are some things that we agree with the Bazungu. Circumcising women is one of them. Even you go against God's will, because you remove the very nerve center of activities. And God created all people to have their normal body parts. So that one, Muzungu can come and pay us money to say, please fight against female circumcision. But the World Health Organization talks about male circumcision as one of the preventive measures of infectious diseases like gonorrhea, syphilis, name them. You realize that today gonorrhea, syphilis has disappeared. People no longer talk about gonorrhea. How many people do you find going to hospital to be treated on gonorrhea? Very few. Because bigger diseases have come. Have you ever sat down and asked why every bad disease in the world, apart from corona, has been coming from Africa? Allegedly, Ebola from Congo, AIDS from Congo. What? Have you seen that? Everything which is bad is lumped to Africa. So, is there a new world order that has come? What is your take? My take is, and I want to speak frankly, that the government my take is the government of Joe Biden will not work miracles for Africa, but it will work for regime change. Several countries, several leaders who are despotic, like President Museveni in Kampala, Paul Biya, Equatorial Guinea, anybody who has overstayed in Africa in these 4 years will collapse. Most of them will collapse, yes. They will work to weaken. So if I were a leader in Africa who has stayed more than 30 years and who says every morning pray to God that God tells him that you must stay, I would start preparing my journey of retirement. If I were Paul Biya, I would prepare my journey. If I were Idris of Chad, I would prepare my journey. But unfortunately, he would like to extend the constitution, and Maina is not making any noise about the extension of the constitution. He's busy lecturing to Africans how we lack democracy. Ambassador Maina is a very hard man to crack on the question of democracy. But Idris, in his own country, is extending the constitution. He wants to remove term limits. They are fighting with the brother of Maina over who should become the president of Chad. We have conflicts in Ethiopia. Tigray Liberation Front. Everybody has been wiped out. You saw the graves there? Hey, the Oromo army, when it moved north, it destroyed, killed, maimed Tigray. Somali troops have been fighting in Tigray alongside Ethiopian troops, killing the Tigray people. What will happen? Who is arming Tigray? Why is the Ethiopian government slaughtering innocent genocide, which is being perpetrated in front of our eyes? Across south in Uganda, the opposition seemed to be swallowed in Lake Victoria. They have now gone from village to village looking for the originals, forms for tallying, so that they are not brought to the court of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has been put on leave for 3 months. This is the Africa we are in. A new regime, a new world order has come. Across in Europe, Iraq poses a threat. Yemen poses a threat. Afghanistan, will the American troops be redeployed in Afghanistan? Is the timetable going to change? The relationship between North Korea and United States of America, will Joe Biden visit North Korea? Will Joe Biden restate the Cuban? Remember, Obama had normalized the relationship with Cuba. Mr. Trump put Cuba as a terrorist supplying area of the world. Has he revoked this? Remember, he's the only second Catholic president of the United States. Is religion very important in politics? What does it teach you? that most of the presidents of the United States have not been Catholics. J.F. Kennedy was a Catholic. He was assassinated in 1963 by a hail of bullets from an unknown assassin. Joe Biden is the second Catholic president whom has ruled the United States. There's a change, a woman, a Jamaican, Indian migrant who had come, whose father's parents came, produced Kamala Harris. She's now the deputy. Number two is historical. Will this change? Will this lessen the greed? Will this lessen the way America orders invasion of some countries? Are we going to change the policy? That is my take. My take is, as I conclude to hand over the baton, I want to begin with Maina. We want to see what he thinks first. Then we can injure him later on or discuss nicely. Because if you wait for him to get everything from us, he might be very deadly. So let me begin. Let me.
Dr. Masanga, do me a favor. I am sending a message. Maybe you can start with Professor Gerard and you can come back. I'm sending a message here, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I was
you.
crossing over to Paris, but I will come back first to Nanyuki. Then Professor Gerard will come to give us his take. We want specifically 2 minutes. Your take, Mr. Garanja, 2 minutes. And when you see me opening my mouth, you know now you are not, don't talk. And that's the way I'm going to control this debate so that we have people talking. 2 minutes start now. Tell us, what is your take?
Thank you very much, Dr. David Masanga, for this great opportunity to air my view on what is I expect from the new regime that was installed yesterday in the United States of America. One thing, they have come with a very good thing of calling for those leaders in Africa who have been violating the will of the people, violating human rights in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Chad, and Uganda specifically, because they have seen the kind of election that we have experienced in this country. Therefore, I expect maybe they'll try and bring sanity. They'll try to call in order those leaders who have violated the constitutionalism, those who have violated the democratic space to ensure that they remain in power. Like in the case in our neighboring country in Uganda, we have seen the regime of Yoweri Museveni trying to remain relevant, trying to remain in power, using all means, even if it means stealing election, rigging in, and all that processes. Therefore, to me, I feel like the new regime will try to call in order, because that is something we saw in the Barack Obama administration. And we know Joe Biden was the vice president then. Therefore, I expect he has a foundation from the human rights call that was in the Obama administration to continue even in his regime of calling for good human rights exercise and more in good governance, because we have a country where the governance, the leaders who are in possession of power, they don't lead in the right way. They engage in corruption. And we have seen the United States of America for quite a period of time banning and issuing sanctions to those people who are deemed to be corrupt. And they are not allowed even to visit those countries. Therefore, I expect them to read on those areas they call these leaders in order. Number two, I expect the trade cooperation and the relationship that the United States had with our country, Kenya, for a period of time. I hope it will continue extending, because as we look on Ned Kinley, we have Kenyans who work in the United States. Therefore, we have kind of a relationship. And during the Donald Trump administration, we have a direct flight from Kenya to New York. Therefore, I expect even the relationship, the traveling, and maybe the export and the industry will be boosted. Thank you.
You kept your 2 minutes. I now run to Douglas Kirimi. Douglas Kirimi.
Thank you.
You have heard what Javani Karanja has said. What's your take?
Thank you, Dr. David Matanga from the Political Command Center. I promise to stick to my 2 minutes. My take is that Donald Trump has nominated a new Secretary of State, Mr. Bilken, who has now indicated that their focus will be on countries like Uganda, countries like Cameroon, where we have dictators who have refused to cede ground and also cede power for so many decades. And these people have been able to defranchise their people. And also, they have said that dictator Paul Biya of Cameroon is going to be called from out of his closet, from where he is hiding, so that he can now come to open, so that now he can continue answering for his own acts now. And we expect that the people of Amazonia are going to get justice this time around, because this year, and also the coming 3 years, there shall be more regime changes. Remember, this is George Soros, a form of backed government. We expect more of activities in the region. But if George Soros runs in Cameroon, I have no apologies to make, because Paul Biya has overstayed in power. And also for Museveni, we need to ring a bell to his ears. We need to remind him, Bilken has mentioned that in Uganda, the man that has been able to hold the chief opposition leader, Bobi Wine, Arias Chaguranyi, that now he is going to touch the issue in Uganda, and the people of Uganda are going to enjoy. And also on the issue of Tigray and the Prime Minister of Ethiopia and the government of Ethiopia and the butchering of the people of Tigray, we will get answers on who is butchering Tigray and who is killing the people of Tigray, and also they shall be granted justice. On the issue of Somalia, we expect that the policy of Joe Biden will be to stabilize Somalia, because the USA is committed in eradicating terrorism across the world. We expect the troops that Trump has been able to remove from Somalia, they are going to be called back, because everything that Trump did and that people made noise about, especially our issue, we have an issue with the withdrawal of troops from Mogadishu. American troops from Mogadishu, because it will also destabilize our country. Remember, that is a very porous country as of now, but we are stabilizing it together with AMISOM and also American troops. We expect that is going to be done. And also in Central African Republic, we are going to get to the root of the issue, why Bozize is being supported by UPDF of Museveni, and why the people of Central African Republic continue losing diamonds to Museveni and also France. This is going to be fast-tracked, and the people of the Central African Republic are going to get their justice, and also people are going to be stopped from killing each other like Bozize is doing in Central African Republic. And for the Republic of Kenya, I expect more cooperation, especially on climate change issues. And we've seen Joe Biden return the American people to the Paris climate agreement, and also we've seen him return a few of things that Donald Trump and been able to take away the American people away from, and we expect more cooperation in terms of bilateral talks and multilateral talks to continue across Africa that is going to benefit the people of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirimi. Thank you very much for that analysis. Will there be a reversal? Is there a reversal? Shall we see Africa changing? How will the United States pressurize Africa to allow democratic space, like the space that has shrunk in some countries like Uganda, where the space is too small, yet the country is too big, and the airspace can be enough for all of us to breathe together without discrimination. Where in Uganda, you find the leader has stolen the election or been nominated by the Electoral Commission, which he nominated himself. But he follows a small young man, locks him up, cuts his food supply, his water supply, and allows him to die in a house. Will the United States watch this event? Kidi Mwaga, your take.
Thank you, Daktari, for the opportunity to air my views on Punchline TV. First, we are grateful that President Joe Biden, in his wisdom, has signed the executive order that effectively takes United States of America back to Paris Agreement on climate change. Because the menace of climate change poses a serious threat to all of us globally. And it is one of those areas that requires a coordinated international response. America traditionally has been a world leader, and therefore withdrawal from the Paris Agreement, and considering that US is part of the big economies that contribute immensely in the climate pollution, is a step in the right direction. Secondly, you realize that today, a number of our countries around the world are grappling with clean energy. Clean energy happens to be a big capital investment, and most of African, especially countries in global south, still do not have capacity in making investment in those areas. It is one of those areas that, in my estimation, still requires coordinated response, and therefore United States of America going back to Paris Agreement would therefore be able to ensure that monies are made available to a number of these countries, especially in the global south, that, for instance, want to connect their people to off-grid connectivity. The other area is that we know that during Obama administration, there was an attempt to readjust American relationship with a number of African and Asian countries, a relationship that is premised on respect rather than on patronage, as had previously been the case. We know that President Obama didn't manage to achieve much. We hope that under Biden administration, based on that mutual respect, Africa and US and United States of America are going to engage on areas of mutual concern and mutual interest with respect, so that they do not come and dictate terms to Africa. A case in point I will mention is the case of Zimbabwe. Because of continued sanctioning of Zimbabwe, it has crippled that economy. And now we have a new leader who has come and is trying to rebuild that country. Can America forget about the past and respectfully engage with the government of Comrade Mnangagwa to ensure that the punitive sanctions that has crippled that economy are removed, and then a joint effort is made between the people of Zimbabwe in support with the American government to ensure that Zimbabwe's economy is resuscitated for the benefit of the people of Zimbabwe. The other area I expect to see greater investment is in the area of trade. Today, Africa is talking about the Africa Free Trade Area. Leveraging on previous initiatives like AGOA, we are looking at a scenario where the Biden administration is going to work jointly with Africa, especially the AU, to ensure that there is an increased trade volume, to ensure that it benefits the people of America and it benefits the people of Africa equally, so that we jointly eradicate the poverty on the world scale. We know that one thing about COVID-19 is that COVID-19, when it broke out, there was no coordinated response at the international level, in part because of the belligerent nature of the outgoing American President Donald J. Trump. We hope that we are going to see a more proactive world leader today, that if and when there is such threat of global magnitude that threatens humanity, that we are going to see a more proactive United States of America that is going to make necessary investment to ensure that we eradicate diseases. The same way PEPFAR helped us ensure that there was drugs available to folks that were HIV positive, and also ensured that we were able to cut down on prevention of mother to child in regards to managing HIV/AIDS. These are ventures that I hope that going forward, Biden administration is going to step up on. Thank you, Daktari. Well, I am not sure if Daktari is there. Professor Jared, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So, thank you very much. I've heard about HIV/AIDS and so on, and I was hearing. But let me change a bit and ask questions to my panel, those who are going to come in. Do you really think the way World Health Organization has handled the pandemic of corona, was Trump right or wrong? From the point of view that Ghana, Ambassador Ghana Maina, I hope you are ready now.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yes.
I was a little bit busy doing one of two things. That's why I was not being able to take. Yeah.
Today you're in a very colorful situation of Paris. But thank
now,
you very much. Don't worry. Was Trump right on the way World Health Organization handled it?
I will get back to this response. First, we're talking about American policy. First of all, we all know that America is one of the powerful countries on earth. They are the one dictating the majority of the economy in this world. If America is affected, the world is affected. We all agree that. And American currency is number one. That is what we are using in this world. So if there is any problem in the United States, the whole world is affected. We all are witness the 2008, 7 and 8 issues, what happened in America. The economy has crashed because of America, but the whole world went down. We all understand that America will play a big role in Africa, especially on the trade agreement, on anything. But number two, we have to agree on one thing, Dr. Matsanga. We are mixing politics with economic in our African system, that we are expecting the West to come and fix our problem. That's always we are getting wrong. Dr. Matsanga, we want to eat our cake and have it. Yesterday, we said that democracy and election has not been properly managed in our Africa. This system is not good for us. We come today, we say we are talking about democracy. Which one then? Are we talking the one in this world, or we are talking about the one in the paradise?
You are getting, hold on, you are getting me wrong.
I am coming, Dr.
You are getting me wrong.
Can I finish? I finish?
But you cannot
finish because we never agree that this election, democracy with election has bring more harm than good in Africa.
But democracy and elections in your country
bring more harm.
No, democracy and elections
than good.
Maina, Ambassador,
I'm talking about general, not just a chat. Okay, I'm talking generally, because we are Africans. I bring more harm than good. Do we agree that?
Yes, we agree.
Dr. Matsanga, thank you.
Wait.
Now, when we go back again.
Can I moderate the show?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
My question is, the new world order, how does it affect? Will America bring any new world order? I have not talked about democracy myself.
Let me explain to you. Let me tell you about the new world order have to come. Why? The world have to change. Yes. Things are changing, either we like it or not. I'm giving you again a simple example. Imagine that we have a team like Real de Madrid. All the players are moving, the game are changing. But you, Dr. Matsanga, who number 10 playing inside, you are not changing. There will be a time that either they kick you out or either you leave the team. Because things are moving, but you are not moving. This is the system. The world is changing. We all know that from 2020, our mode of operandi, our system of living have to change. Either we like it or not, based on this COVID. Agree, Dr. Jared, Professor Jared, right? Our mode of operandi have to change, either we like it or not. But now, let's go back to the politics that we are talking about Africa, but we are more concerned about African. The way we want American to be involved in our politics is not going to happen because our countries, African, we claim that there is sovereignty. So some of the things they cannot get in, except if we African, we decide to change. And we decide to come together to put a system that makes things work, right? Everything that happened to us is coming of the result of our responsibility, not the West. The West, yes, they colonize us, they do something, but we can change it. We can bring the system. Now, we are taking example of this country, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is into sanction because America put them sanction. But we all know that if Zimbabwe decide today to take the bull by the horn like the president of Tanzania, John Magufuli, has done to rebuild the country, to make sure the country go up on the track, America will respect them. You know, sometimes when you do something, you will gain disrespect. But we are claiming respect. Respect cannot be claimed. It will be earned. How you are going to build your system. Today, a lot of things Kenya has doing, Kenya have respect in the Africa around the world, like Rwanda. But we are just claiming why these people, why we are just playing the game of victim. So victimizing ourselves as always putting it on a different system. I can tell you one thing, one of the worst things we are having in Africa here, let's say we talk a Satan, whatever, because we are believing in lies. We are lying to ourselves. We are believing on another lies that kept us blind, that we don't want to move. Yesterday, again, I remind Dr. Matsanga, we all have understood that the majority of those countries around this world, beside the West, who have succeeded, was having one leader for a long period of time. We take the Arab countries, the Kuwait, Dubai, Emirates, we talk Saudi Arabia. You see the quality of their citizens' life is better, that they don't have to complain, but they don't have this democracy. They don't have these multi-parties. We take example, you see in the South Koreas, you take example of Malaysia, you take example of Singapore. They have developed. So the problem we are having now is not even this election or whatever, the system, how we can put our leadership on the right track to develop our country. Our agenda is not properly instructed. But if we are spending our time just blaming number one and number two, our energy is already finished. This is now. Let me answer the question of World Health Organization. You see, you, Dr. Masanga, I don't know. Me, I'm not professional in this health sector, but Professor Nyari can say something about it. You know, America is one of the biggest contribution of World Health Organization. We all agree that. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. We can find out later. But so they are having something to say. Maybe they are not approving some of the things going inside, that they want something to be rectified. Why we cannot find out why? This is my answer, Dr. Matsanga. Back to you.
Dr. Masanga.
Thank you very much, Professor Onyari. I've heard Ambassador Maina. He has not stated his position.
I will in the future. I will.
What is his take? What does he think Africa might gain or not gain? He has only continued with condemnation of we Africans. It's very bad. You know, this is the whole disease we have.
You are asking me my position.
Yes, that is, you will later on come with it. It's okay.
Thank you.
But I am saying the book of Lakunule, the song, The Lion and the Jewel, explains Ambassador Maina's worries. You see, when Ambassador Maina speaks that what can we do with diamond? He has a point there. No African country eats diamond, isn't it? No factory
we don't
for
have
diamond.
even the country for diamond.
Yes, we dig it for other European metals. So, Professor, maybe come in the middle and what is your take? I will explain to Ambassador Maina why United States was right in complaining about World Health Organization. When the pandemic started, there was a total confusion with another African who looks like Matanga and Maina. Because we have grown in Europe, we have houses in Europe, we behave like Lakunule. Eh?
Okay.
Yes, we behave. Maina has properties in US, in Europe, where he is. I have a house in Europe. We behave very badly, not knowing that we have African roots. And then when we point the fingers at us, we're not knowing that these ones also point at us. But I'm not a Lakunule myself. For me, at least, Maina knows my record. I've been fighting this international. You know me very well. I've been fighting ICC. I have been fighting the French, where you are seated today. I have no regrets because I don't need any permission to enter France because I don't have anything to do there. I've been telling them off. They have brought chaos on Africa. I've been telling the United States that they have brought chaos. They have equipped our dictators. They give them, you see, for example, look at Uganda. Uganda cannot be condemned because it will only say, I'm pulling out my troops from Somalia. And that will be the end of the story. You get my point? And we leave Uganda to kill people. You know that very well. Today you cannot condemn Rwanda in Darfur. It will only say I've removed my troops. And African Union will have no troops in Darfur. So there must be something we must do. But now there is a new regime in Washington, D.C. These things are going to change. You are not going to cry anymore. The people in Washington, D.C. are George Soros. I am telling you in the name of God. The whole crop that you saw there, the money behind the stabilization of this vote was George Soros. If you're a real student who has studied this subject, which I'm talking today, you will be able to know that it is George Soros' government in Washington.
Let us not worry about tomorrow. Let's worry about today first.
Not tomorrow, even now. Because
let us work. This is not let us not build about stress for tomorrow. Let's concentrate for
what
today.
What is going to happen today, tomorrow? Did you see any announcement on Africa? Was there an announcement apart from the Secretary of State warning Cameroon, Ethiopia, and Uganda?
They have their issues to deal. Africa is not so important for America.
Yeah, but
for European, yes. For America, no.
Ambassador Maina, you build castle. You have built an Africa in a castle. You have built it up there. Why don't we come down here? For example, why don't we come down here? Let me ask you one serious question today and you answer me. Why haven't you resolved the issue of Cameroon?
Thank you. Always you're asking me a question. Dr. Matsanga, let me get back to this Cameroon issue.
Why haven't you resolved the issue of Cameroon?
Yes. Let me explain to you. You see, era right now, you know, this millennium, this 21st century, if you just say that you want to resolve problem by tension, you will end up nowhere. Because history has shown that the majority of the countries who went into conflict among themselves to have a settlement has always ended up that the West will come again to be in the middle or to send us UN troops in our countries. We are getting wrong that are we moving? It's happened in Congo, DRC. It happened in my country in Chad, you know, it happened in Central African Republic, in Somalia. All those countries, imagine anytime where there is a tension among the people of the country because they are looking how to settle their conflict. When they go into the conflict, to resolve it is very difficult. Now, the issues of Cameroon, the issues of Cameroon, they are not addressed properly because you can't go in the conflict and expecting the result the way you want. When you go to the conflict, even the result you are expecting, you will lose it. This thing has started since 2010. You know, those Amazonia, they have started in Washington, D.C. having the meeting. But their leadership, there was not a responsible person who have a real planning what he wanted. He's just somebody who said that we don't like we don't like Dr. Matsanga, he is not good. We don't like him, he have to go. Fine. If this time Dr. Matsanga go, did we come with a proper planning that my issue is not even Dr. Matsanga, my issue is the way how we people are living. We need 1, 2, and 3 to make sure that we change it. Our African politics now is staying on one individual. We say we don't like Professor Nyarek, you have to go. Mean that if you go, there will be a magic system that as soon as you go, everything change now. The country become like America, the roads are there, the everything, the social security is there, the hospital will build by themselves, everything will come to the normal. That is why we are getting the cycle of wrong and wrong and wrong. The issue was not even Professor Nyarek on the issue was the whole leadership and the system with our agenda was not there. Am I right or wrong? If someone today tell me he don't want Idris Deby happen, I will tell him you don't even know what you are saying. Do we have any proper planning that we sit down to build at least for the 50, 100 years for our country, the big visions? These Western people, they are colonizing us. They keep us for more than 50, 100 years now because they planned it long ago. These people started since 1940s. They planned that in 2020, Professor Nyarek will pay me the tax, and you are paying. So how are they more intelligent than us? No, they put a system at the long term. Let me give you a simple example. When you go to China, the Great Wall has been built almost for 72 dynasty, almost 5,000 years to finish this wall, the one you are seeing in China. You know why? Because they make it a long term. We African, we don't have a long-term vision. We just stick on one individual. If we don't like Professor Nya, we will do everything for you to leave. We don't know that you are not the cause of the problem. The root was there. This is my answer. Anytime, Dr. Matsanga, we are just to play the victim. Let's go back to Amazonia. After now, how many years? We find out that the country have not succeeded. We went backward. People died. The economy was shortened. You know, hatred among the ethnic people has been added. It will take us minimum 20 years to bring even the trust again. Professor Nyarek, have we succeeded? Honestly, have we succeeded?
Thank you very much.
Now it's just a bitterness. Families has lost their loved ones. Conflict has been added, but we have not satisfied what we are looking for.
Okay, thank you very much, Ambassador, for the contribution, because you will never even know. you can't know the problem of your neighbor, Cameroon, because you don't like them. The type of ethnicity around in that place between the Fulani and the other tribes is well known. Have you ever condemned Buhari? Have you ever condemned Buhari?
I want to make my remarks before I go to class in the next 20 minutes.
Yes, and you leave me with Maina, we square it out. He has never condemned Buhari for killing Igbo. He hasn't.
Me, I am not here to say who's right, who's wrong.
No,
I have not been trained. I'm not been educated to see who's right, who's wrong. I'm being educated to see how we can solve an issue.
That is inflicted. This is the type of Museveni people.
I'm not taking a position in anything.
No, you have to.
No.
In Africa, we have to take a position.
That's why we are not moving forward, because we are showing the other person is wrong.
Mr. Maina, let me moderate.
Let me just.
When Museveni, Professor, when Museveni came to power, he started killing Northerners because they are black and they are Luos. Until some of us stood in the middle who are Bantu brown. And we said, no, we need these people. They are our people. We have been together with them. We have made a better Uganda. We can't kill them every day without us stopping the war. But Maina does not give a solution. He's saying, we Africans, what can we do? I am simply, my question today, and the professor narrow it down. The question is this: the new world order, how will it benefit or disadvantage Africa? Full stop. Usiniambie mastori mingi. I don't want big stories. I want to know, will it be a good one? Is it going to benefit Africa? Me, I've told you my take. And that's why I brought this program. It's not diplomatic leaks for Maina to tell me diplomacy. I am telling you how is it going to affect you, Ambassador. And thank you very much. And Professor Wanyari, please.
Yes, let me just start reverse from Cameroon. And I want to a little bit educate Maina, Ambassador Maina. The issue of Cameroon, the issue of Abasonia is nothing else, and you cannot stop, and we cannot run away from it. It is self-determination. When people want to decide on how they want to be discussed, you can come with a might army, you can kill them. It will happen in our lifetime, it may not happen, but the people of Abasonia, Dr. Masanga, they need self-determination. It is as brief, as straight as that. So Maina and I and others, what you can do is to join the Abasonia people or not join between the Abasonia people. You cannot in between. You have to take a position if Africa has to move forward. After having made that, let me just go straight to your question, and I will want to go back and quote Mama Zara Obama. One day she was being interviewed that their grandson is the president of the United States of America. So as a family, the journalist was saying that they expected a lot of goodies to the family, to Kenya and Africa. I like the answer of that old mama, and that's why I want to quote her. She said, President Obama is my grandson, just like another grandson. If he comes here as a grandson, I will cook eggs for him as I do to other grandchildren. He is an American president. Joe Biden, Dr. Masanga, he is a president of the United States of America, period. Africa expecting too much from Joe Biden, you will be shocked. He is the president for the United States of America. The American people elected him to serve him. Anything which he will be extending to the continent of Africa, it will be for the interest and the benefit of the American people. So, the African people, we must learn from COVID-19. I said yesterday, and I want to repeat that, I want everybody to open his eyes and see how have we managed to navigate through COVID-19. Every country went to take care of their people. The health spaces were locked. You cannot move to another country. If you were sick in Africa, you will not be taken to India, you will not be taken to Europe, you will not be taken, you were to be treated in your country. Not even your country. When there was a lockdown, Dr. Masanga, you will be treated in your village. So Africa, we need to redefine ourselves. We need to refocus ourselves. We need to engineer ourselves and come up with a common strategy where we want to take Africa as a country.
You know, the American politics is centered on the Republicans and Democrats. You know the Democrats, what they stand for. They stand for democracy and human rights. So you are right, and with my fellow panelists who have said that those who have overstayed in power, the right things around the world, they will come for them. I can assure you for a fact, Museveni will corrupt, Pia will corrupt, and many more will corrupt those who have stayed in power because they have pronounced what they do. When you see Joe Biden, what do you expect? He was a vice president for Barack Obama for 10 years. Is there anything that he's going to do that they were not able to do? What Obama did, and when you look at the current administration of Joe Biden, is composed of full of Obama administration. So, Dr. Masanga, from where I sit, I don't expect too much from the American, from the Joe Biden administration. If you want to compare with him, it's a little bit sane because President Trump was a sick man, and there's nothing much I could say to a sick man who will call other people names, who will abuse as a shit horse, who will have racialist tendencies in the 21st century. On that, maybe Joe Biden will be different. But what I need to do, in terms of vision, Joe Biden he has been there in the American politics for almost 50 years or so. He has the expertise. He seemed to be honest, Dr. Masanga. He seemed to be decent. And he seemed to have promised to restore dignity, which had been destroyed by President Trump. And I want to give a qualification as a note that does when he looks at the books. He looks at the entire things which were done in a financial year, and he will qualify the accounting books. When I compare Joe Biden and President Trump, Dr. Masanga, let me just hope that Joe Biden will be fair. He will be fair compared to the other one. But what we need to do, Africa, let us learn to do the right things for ourselves. There's nobody who is going to come and develop Africa. And if it is the case of Cameroon, which you are trying to say, let us African people come and say, the Amazonian people need self-determination. You have said what's happening in Ethiopia, you know what's happening in Sudan, you know what's happening in Somalia, you know what's happening in Uganda. You know what has been a mockery, and I was shocked to hear that Minor, where has he gone? Has he disappeared? He's there. Where is Minor? He's listening.
Okay. This was Minor. I was shocked to hear him that he's quoting Magufuli. And see what Magufuli has done. Magufuli is our neighbor. He's a disaster. He's a right down the religion. He's masquerading to fight corruption and restore back to Tanzania when he's messing up with the neighbors. He's not a man. You have concluded direction. Where is the opposition? Where are they? Where are they not at home? Minor. For those of us who practice democracy, who respect human rights, Magufuli is not a person to be quoted. It's for us to pray for. His 4 years or 5 years remaining. He goes home peacefully. I submit, Dr. Masanga.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Our time seems to be running very fast, and I will start with closing remarks. I have my position, my take is very similar to that of Professor Onyari, Karanja, and Kirimi, then Kidi. I also agree somehow with Ambassador Maina about Africa, what Africa can do. But Africa cannot do without understanding the external dimensions. Maina yesterday was telling us that AU cannot speak because AU is paid money for. Someone has paid AU. So they can't say anything wrong. It is him. These are some of the things that you catch a man tonight. He said this. Yesterday he was saying AU cannot function because the money comes from France to fund AU. So the question why I brought this, what will this new world order bring to us? Since they just give us money and we start running around the continent, calling a conference to bring perfume in Addis Ababa, each head of state to come with perfume to show, to litter the air of Addis Ababa with different perfumes, 54 perfumes. Because I believe all the heads of state shower, so they put on perfume. Most of them are not bad people. I've not seen one who does not shower, even those from the desert of Sahara. They come when they are well organized, well smelling very nice, getting out of the plane. But can they stand the test of time for Africa? The crop of leaders we have today, how many of them speak for Africa? Those are the questions. So if there is a new world order, where will Africa, for example, how will Africa sell its goods to America? Is Trump wanted to have Africa, Kenya, and the United States? They have an agreement to sell, a business agreement, commercial. You have seen Kenya Airways flies direct from Jomo Kenyatta Airport to New York. And that was Trump's encouragement. Will this change? Will this change? This could change. What are the benefits? Cost analysis, benefits, or cost benefit analysis. Can you do the best, the cost benefit analysis of an American new order of Democrat Party presidency in power? That's what I'm looking for. As a man who marks exams, cost benefit analysis. What do you have? What will probably happen? What will Cameroon have? You see? What will Uganda have, given their bad democratic record? You remember on Zimbabwe, Zedra was done by the Obama and Clinton administration. You remember that? They put sanctions on Zimbabwe. The law was done by the Democrats. It was not the Republicans. So are they going to change this? Or are they coming with new directives on Zedra so that Zimbabwe sanctions remain? Those are the things that I wanted. So in 1 minute, all of us, I will start from Karanja. What is it? Is it good, bad, worse? We shall remain as we are. We must work as Africans. Tell me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. And let me say this. We as Africans, we must incorporate the values of accountability, the value of hard work, and the value of credibility, so that at the end of the day, we'll be able to have good leaders at the helm of leadership, so that we'll be able to develop our continent, so that we'll be able to compete with this developed nation on that higher level in terms of economic and in terms of infrastructure development and in terms of our leadership. We have seen the kind of the handshake and the BBI process that was initiated by the President Uhuru Kenyatta. It's something that is going global. It's something that leaders across the world are trying and they feel is a good process. Therefore, this to say that Africa, we can do better. We have the resources. We have the capability. It is only that we are not yet to get good leaders who can take the continent to the next level. And that will happen. And I like saying this, when we have electorate, when we have citizens who understand their rights, who understand what voting means, who understand that good leaders are on the ballot. They are not on their tribal cocoons. They are not from their ethnic, but they are there in the ballot. They are there in this country, and they must not be popular. But because presidency, they must not be popular. They must not be all these kind of dramas that they do. But we get leaders who can transform this country. That by doing that, we'll be able to get respect from these countries. And the issue of America and the new leadership, in terms of the foreign policies, there's nothing much will going to change, because these are kind of institutionalized policies that remain even after you are gone. Some of the policies that administration of Donald Trump had continued from what Obama had. Only a few things will change, but on the issue of Africa, nothing much will change. We had the sanctions in Zimbabwe. The administration of Trump didn't work on it or to revoke the sanctions, but the sanctions remained. Therefore, nothing much we expect unless we Africans work hard. And if there's something beneficial will come from this leadership, it will also as well. It will not benefit Africans alone, but it will be a mutual relationship, a mutual working atmosphere where both countries will benefit, because I don't see a scenario where Americans will come to intervene on matters of Africans where they are not benefiting directly. At the end of the day, what is a principle in America is that they put the interest of American first rather than all these other surroundings, surrounding countries or people around them. Therefore, even they come to intervene in Uganda, they need to have a leader maybe who in one all the way, they can agree on a mutual and a bilateral relationship where they will benefit. But in all said and done, something that we must look into is the violation of human rights, a denial of people in this continent to elect their leaders of choice. We have seen it happen in Tanzania, in Uganda, in Cameroon, where leaders feel like they have an entitlement to remain in power, forgetting that they are part of the problem. Those countries are not developing. I'm not saying that the overall problem, but also the electorate must hold their leaders into account so that we get to know the leaders who are performing and not performing. And the issue of elections, this is something that we must look into, even without intervention from the Americans, because we have seen the countries like Kenya. Yes, we are trying. Kenya, Ghana, South Africa. I can say we are doing better, because since in Kenya, since 1992, after the repeal of Section 2A, we have seen presidents are going for 2 terms and they go home. We see Moi from 92 to 202, from 202 to 2012 by President Kibaki, and we expect the same to happen with President Uhuru, because I don't see any scenario where President Uhuru will come and repeal the constitution to ensure that he remains in power. Therefore, these kind of things means that Africa, we can do better if we work on 1 or 2 things, and we can go even at the higher level, because we have seen these things coming to play. Therefore, I expect good relationship between Kenya and America. It was there even in the administration of Bush, Obama, Trump, and Joe Biden. But we must work to ensure that our continent is better by having good voters and good leaders, and we coordinate our affairs internally, and we have our own things of dealing with the problems that affect us. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Karanja. That's very good analysis and a very good advice, which Africa must take. Douglas, your parting shot, please.
Thank you, Dr. Masanga. And one thing I think that is going to happen with the people of Kenya is that we are going to be at the negotiation table with the people of America. When a country goes into negotiation, for example, the Africa Free Trading Agreements that the president of the Republic of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta, is keen on actualizing and also pursuing, even with the incoming Biden administration, it is something that is beneficial to 2 countries. When multilateral or bilateral talks happen between countries, they don't happen because we are going to ask for anything from America. It is for the mutual benefit of the American people and the people of Kenya. When AGOA is brought to Africa and also is actualized in our communities, it does not come as US it comes as a mutual exchange and also something that is going to benefit the two countries. When the people of America protect the people of Kenya against the Al-Shabaab and other extremist groups, they don't help us because we are helpless. They cooperate us because our security as a nation is the security of the American people. When the world is safer, America is safer. When Kenya is unsafe, when Kenya is invaded by extremist groups, then America is not safe in the world. So for them to protect their own interests, they have to bring us to the table. And I expect so much of a Biden cooperation in terms of climate change, agriculture, and also many other things, and also security. We need to be able to demystify the issue of Africans going to beg to America. We are not begging anyone. We are sitting on the table and negotiating deals that are going to help this country move it forward. I expect more in the private sector. I expect more in a multilateral talks for the government of the Republic of Kenya, and also bilateral talks in terms of security, climate change, and agriculture and other things, so that the people of America can benefit and the people of Kenya can benefit. Another thing I'm expecting the Biden administration to do is to also help the people, opposition parties across Africa that are battling stolen elections and also tampered democracy. The people of Uganda, I expect that the dictator in Uganda is going to be forced into a negotiation table or be removed from power, because the people of Uganda are tired, and also other dictators like Paul Biya and others. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kidi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Daktari. Going forward in engagement between Africa and the United States of America, I think that the burden of responsibility lies on Africa and African countries to move towards greater democratic ideals, to move towards greater respect for human rights, and a greater burden of responsibility also lies on America to conduct its engagement with African countries with respect. For instance, we hope that the Biden administration will realize that there are countries like Zimbabwe that requires now to get out of sanctions to rebuild themselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me come to Professor. You are running out.
Yes, I'm running. In fact, should have started making my final mark.
Then I come to Ambassador Maina.
Yeah, Dr. Masanga, this was a great topic of interest. There's no doubt that the Americans are our elder brother. So whether they are going to give much is expected from them, because they seem to be policing the world. But I want to associate myself with Krimi that if they would deal for me, the leaders who have overstayed in the continent of Africa, the likes of Museveni, the likes of Biya, the likes of Kagame and the like, I will appreciate. But what I need to do here is that the world of today is not the world of the 20th century. That's where I agree with the Ambassador Maina that we need to be treated with respect, and surely to work in partnership with Sustainable Development Goals number 16 of global partnership. And Dr. Masanga, we should be able to work on cooperation and not competition, and not on policing over each other. Is we need to talk to one another. And that's why I say, when I give an assessment to Joe Biden, I see him that he has got enough expertise in terms of leadership. He's an honest man, he's a decent man, and he's about to restore dignity. And if he's going to have this one implemented, then it will be key. I even listened to his speech yesterday when he was being sworn in. He said he's going to be a president for United States of America, and I hope America, being a superpower, is going to ensure that there is fairness done in the world, not to do things the way they have done in the past. If he goes outside that, then I may not agree with him, but I can, as much as I've given my analysis, that there's much you can do as regards to American democracy, because
Those are institutions. You can't do things in your own. You may want to do this with the Congress and the Senate may do this. So in terms of what we expect, go back and see what the former presidents of the Democratic side, the Obamas, the Clintons, all that they have done, then you can be able to see how much Joe Biden is going to succeed in terms for Africa, I submit.
Thank you very much, Professor Nyari. Ambassador Maynard, close it for us.
I want to thank you, Dr. Matsanga. You are an inspiration for us. Even though you fight me every time, but I learn things from you. You know, they say that, do you know that America learned much from Russia, even though they don't like Russia? They say sometimes if you want to learn something, find someone you don't like. If you don't like Museveni, take out the way you don't like him, but learn the key things that how these guys play this kind of game to stay in the power. If you understand that, now you know how to fight him. Because if you don't learn from your enemy, you will never know where is his strength and his weakness. This number one. Let me go back to the New World Order. As we African, if we play our game right, this thing will help us, Professor. Number one, you know, this African Continental Free Trade Agreement, if we emphasize on it and we open this border, we start to trade among us, we will become powerful and those people will envy us. Number one, we will never have time to too much go and bend ourselves to compromise some of the negotiation, either with the West or with the Asian. Number one. Number two, we African, we need to bring a system that we have to put our leaders on a performance accountability, because now they are getting away with whatever they are doing because there is no performance accountability. If there is, you will see this leader, they will perform because they know that if I have not performed, my next generation will be out of the system. This is number two. And when we have this performance accountability, the New World Order will play on our own advantage because now we will tell America what we want. Right now, the West America is telling us what we have to do. They're telling us they are our need, but they are not telling us what we want. Number three, today, this New World Order, it can help us, and Dr. Masanga is witness, to bring that our opposition leaders with the government, at least both of them working for the sake of the country to make sure that they have also a say, they can contribute to develop their country. I have come to understand, Dr. Matsanga, this political party is bringing us more enemy than good. Instead of, I think we just have different ideologies that we can put it on the table to make our life and our country better. But right now in Africa, if you are an opposition, you become like a criminal. You become like a non-wanted person in the country. We need to make sure that America can help us to say, guys, listen, democracy is not hatred. Doesn't mean now Joe Biden cannot invite Donald Trump for a coffee. They are not enemies. They don't agree on something, but mean that at the end of the day, this is our country. We cannot tear this apart. So we need to also have this kind of ideology, Dr. Matsanga, to make sure that Bobby Wine can drink a coffee with Museveni. He will tell him, yes, big brother, you have messed it up, but at least, you know, we need to come back. Yes, sorry, but at least at the end of the day, today, is there any, you see the joy Kenya and you people have when you see Raila Odinga with Uhuru eating ugali. This is a joy, guys. Finally, we find out that this democracy, the way we was taking it, is totally different. Democracy doesn't mean hatred. Democracy doesn't mean that we hate each other. Democracy doesn't mean that we play ethnic group. Democracy doesn't mean that we separate each other, that this is our time to run. Democracy means that I don't agree with Kirimi. Kirimi tell me what he's thinking and I tell him what I think. At the end of the day, we come to a compromising. We draw the line. No, Kirimi, the way. At the end of the day, we drink coffee, we laugh, and everybody is satisfied. This is what we are longing for in Africa. We want to be understood. We want to be heard. You know, we want to be at least given some consideration. This consideration is making us, that's why we are fighting. Today, if you see the issues of Uganda, I'm not blaming too much Museveni, but all of us Africans have the responsibility because we have taken these issues of a political party as a clan, as a game, like as two war countries. Inside that, we sit down, we say, yes, big brother, you have messed up big. Anyway, we don't agree. Right now, we have a situation here. How can we know we can do that? We come an agreement. Look at today, the joy, Raila and President Uhuru, they are friends, he can call him Ndugu. Sasa, at least, have you seen Bobby Wine can call his big brother or his father? He cannot call him. That is the same thing happening in Tanzania, the same thing happening in Chad, the same thing happening in Cameroon with the English people. Do you guys know that the problem who has started in this, you're talking about Cameroon, is just the teachers. The teachers was not satisfied with the condition. Was a simple thing that government can address it. That's how the Amazonia decide they want to be separate from the country. It's just a teacher's issue that the situation of the teachers was so bad that they are wondering. They were saying that why our counterpart French are more treated than us. It's the simple things. You know, sometimes the tension we are having is that we do not want to agree on each other. So we are always shifting blames. And this blame is making everybody stand on the defensive zone. Because if Kirimi, you are blaming me, Ambassador Maina, I'm from the West, I will blame you if we are from the Africa. So they will never have an agreement. But if you say, yes, Ambassador Maina, I understand your view, and also this is my view, how do you think? I will tell you, no, Kirimi, I can bring this on the table, you bring this one. When we put it, the benefits of our people, and they succeeded. That's what is the sense of the handshake today, right? You guys know that if there was not handshake, even the economy of Kenya will sink because no investor will come in this country. They are not safe. And you know that if you want to be powerful in this world, you have to have a powerful economy. Our problem is Africa is not necessarily politics. Politics play just 25% of our life, but our problem is our economy is not well structured. That's why the people are suffering. They are not satisfied. If Douglas today is a businessman like Chris Kirubi, he don't care about Jubilee. Jubilee will come drink coffee in your house. You don't even think about them. You don't even worry who's the president. That's the truth of the matter. Okay. I want to thank Dr. Matanga. This panel is all we are learning, we are moving, we are growing with your leadership, and we think that we are going to build a better Africa. I believe that. I'm not from the West, Dr. Matanga, but I understand why the West manipulate us. That's why I want to be with them. They are not my enemy, they are my friends. You know, sometimes if you are very weak, make your enemy your friend. At least he can tell you some strategy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Mai. Thank you very much for, I'm always a very good Democrat. I'm democratic, and that's why I've lived longer. I always give my opponents time to criticize, but I never hate anybody.
That's true.
Allow you to see.
I am the witness.
Yes.
I am the witness.
I have given people so many times. You were there, you have seen. When I came to Kenya in 2008, 2007, 2008, nobody in Kenya, no Kenyan, nobody, no Kenyan was able to stand for Uhuru Kenyatta. No Kenyan was able to stand for Ruto and the Ocampo 6. I'm a living example, single-handedly, Lone Ranger, no agreement, no contract, no money. Nobody gave me money to buy tickets to come to Kenya. Who gave me ticket? I came on my own. I bought my tickets. Uhuru did not know me. Ruto did not know me. The Ocampo 6 people did not know me. I agree with Maina on that we must start as Africans on our own, initiate without waiting for a contract. If I had waited for a contract, I am not a lawyer with a law firm. I'm an activist who has international contracts. Contract. I had international contacts that can dismember ICC. I speak proudly today. I can speak proudly about Kenya today. Why? Because I made it where it is. Yes. Yes. In this leadership, what can you tell me? Ruto can insult me, but he can even talk in his toilet. But he cannot come and tell me, frankly, that I hate Masanga. Why? Openly, let him try. If I did not sit him down and told him this is the way the thing is, instruct your lawyers to do this and that and that. Did he teach me? It's me who taught him. So I have a say about Kenya. You cannot stop me because I had known Ocampo before. I knew what Ocampo was doing to us in Uganda. He came and picked money from His Excellency President Museveni, over $500,000, and he indicted the Acholi people. He left the Ugandans of Bantu origin, whose list I have. I don't want to display it now. You see? Because I don't like ICC anyway. But I know there were people who are supposed to be on the list who should also be answering questions today in The Hague, who were UPDF soldiers. That one I know. That one I know. That one I have that list. I have the files of Ocampo. So don't play about with me. I have them. But I stood firm because I saw a fake narrative, a narrative equivalent to the hustler and the dynasty narrative, stupid, bringing chaos. Do you see the chaos that you are bringing to yourself, you people? You are ending in the same way our countries like Uganda, Central African Republic are going. You don't need to wait for America to discipline you. America is coming to accelerate. It will accelerate this type of hustler narrative. Because always the Democrats go with the downtrodden. You get my point? Democrats go with the downtrodden. When Obama came here, the first thing he started opening his mouth to tell President Uhuru Kenyatta, what was it? Until Uhuru Kenyatta told him, no. Africa, you not come and tell us to do. There are certain things, good ones, we shall pick. We don't want to talk about them here. There are good things we shall pick, and the bad things we shall not accept. You remember that? But Obama came to, after listening to a few NGOs somewhere in Kasarani, the guy came out stating so many things, changing the whole narrative of his journey into Kenya. You remember? He almost wanted to give us a directive because he has met Boniface Mwangi, Gladwell Otieno, Harun Duvi, Jonjo Mue, Mahina Kiai, Makao Mutua. You have seen the NGO Mutunga. Have you seen the people? Those Jukonyo, not Jukonyo, the other fat Shuji guy. What is his name?
Mahina Kiai.
No, there is another one who was the anti-corruption who brought up
John Githongo.
Githongo, David Indi. Have you seen the people that the man met? He did not call Kirimi. He did not call Kirimi to go there. He can't call Matanga. But when he came out of the meeting, I'm telling you frankly, Obama had almost changed it and about the narrative of the NGOs until, and I repeat, until the president and the government of Kenya put its stand down, that this is what we are up to. So don't expect much from the Americans. Expect much. Another point that Maina has made, which I picked, performance and accountability, must begin from us. You cheat the vote then lock the man you have cheated. Then what is the problem? Are you the one who is mad, not the man you are put in jail? Who is mad now? It's the man you are put in jail. Who is mad? It's not that man, it's you. Because you have stolen his vote, then you have locked him up to rot. Is that democracy? 3, we have we have a lot of ego. What kills African opposition is ego. There is nobody in Africa who wants to leave the place for the other, and nobody in Africa wants to say. The only one I've found who says Matsanga is better than me is Ambassador Ghana Maina. He says no. On that one, Matsanga is better. But very few people in Africa.
That's true, Dr. Matsanga.
Uganda.
That's true. Because
especially
our ego.
Uganda, nobody wants.
I agree with you.
Yes. Ego will kill us.
That's true.
For example, in Uganda now, they would have formed one political party, one opposition. Without this point, the word Katumba, these were some of them. That's why they were not touched. There were actually moles of NRM. People who are not NRM were FDC and Chagulanyi. But the rest were parties funded by even the government at night. We would have got about 45 to 50%. The whole. So, sorry about that. Are we still there? Do you hear me? Kirimi?
Yes, Dr. Matsanga.
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
we can, Dr. Matsanga.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can.
Sure.
Yes. Finally, it's just why, for example, Mugisha Mundu getting 50,000 votes. Why didn't you give those 50,000 votes to Mr. Chagulanyi? And you remain behind. No, I'm asking serious questions. And this man here from Chad has raised very serious questions.
I agree, Dr. Matsanga.
My argument with him is to bring a debate, not because I wanted to control him, but to bring about a debate. What was the use of General Mugisha Mundu to take part in the elections? To show us the color purple. Had they joined Chagulanyi, they would have had a very good performance. Katumba, 30,000 votes. A younger man of 24, I don't know who. You see, you can actually tell from the mall he was planted there. He couldn't even have money. To be a president, you needed 200 million. Does that man look like a 200 million? When his shoes are not worth. So we should do analysis. as Ugandans, you do analysis. Next time, 2026, don't allow too many political parties, each one to create a party. Tell these politicians, unite or don't come to us. If they were united, this man will not be beating one man only. Why is the man not beating the other people? Aha. Any Ugandan should tell me why the man is not following General Mugisha Muntu. Why was he not in the politics? Why is he not following Lieutenant General Tumukunde? Why is he not following to beat him up? Why is he following this man only? Because we seem to be saying it's not my problem, it's their problem, it's his problem. Have you seen? So until that thing is taken out of African politics, I will not be a party to it. I'm always frank. That's why I've stood very far from it. I saw it during the Kony days. You remember people used to call me names when I was trying to tell them, let's negotiate. When Northerners were being killed, some people in the southern part of the country were enjoying. They were telling the Northerners that they killed us, let them be killed now. That type of politics in our country and in most of African countries should end. Therefore, American law and order, which has come, the new order, believe me or not, if you don't clean up your acts, we have a problem. You have a problem. Why? Because the government in Washington is George Soros. He's now legally. He used to be illegal the other time. Remember, George Soros is used by the CIA also. Have you seen a warrant of arrest on George Soros? Is there anybody who has arrested George Soros? Anybody? Have you seen George Soros being arrested? Show me one warrant in America. But doesn't it topple governments in Africa? Can you go to US and say, I'm toppling government X on national television? The FBI will look for you in the evening and call you a terrorist and they lock you up. So I'm telling my African people that the new government that has come, don't clap too much because you might not have anything to clap about. Therefore, I rest my case, and I want to thank all of you this afternoon. I want to thank all of you who have been with me from morning. Asante sana. Thank you very much from London, Political Command Center. I want to thank you. Tomorrow, you will have Miriam present. I will also be in the backyard, sleeping, 3 hours. I woke up very early today, so let me go back. And I want to encourage you to look out for my page, Facebook page. I always write very piercing analysis. And I want to encourage you to read my document on Hasola Dynasty in Capital FM. It is all over the whole radio in the whole country of Kenya. They have summarized it. I want you to read it and understand that is a brain, an African academic. I have reasoned inch by inch, an African academic whose exam was done by himself. Mr. Maina, read that document. You will be very happy. It is on Capital FM. You can find it even on my Facebook. It is a well-researched document that you are causing a warfare once you bring class struggle. Even Jesus fed 5,000 people at the port of Capernaum. But when he left to go on the hill, another person nearby, the people who arrived late were left on Maram, while those who went with Jesus ahead were on tarmac.
Wow.
Haven't we had that class struggle in the Middle East?
No.
We have it. Why is the Arab fighting? Why is Israel fighting Arab? Are they not the same origin? Syria. When you bomb Syria, they say, no. Those are religious sites. Don't bomb them. Aleppo. You remember? Isn't that Aleppo where Paul was? Maina, you are not religious. I know you rarely go to church. I know you as my friend. The church has
Dr. Matanga, you kill me.
Yes.
You kill me today.
you hate the church. But I want to teach you that Aleppo in the 2,000 years ago, that is the place where Paul was preaching. Abasamaria Syrians. Those are the Syrians in English. We were taught about Abasamaria, Omsamaria Omrundi, the Good Samaritan. Where did the Good Samaritan come from? He used to move around that area of the Middle East where there is war. It's because of class struggle, which Ruto is trying to create in Kenya. Yet he's not part of the Hassan dynasty. He's part of the parasite. In fact, the next document I'm writing is parasites. I'm going to analyze a parasite who has eaten both the local people and the higher people. So we create another class called parasite, which will complicate the matters. So I invite you to that document. If you're a student, you can use it for your exam. You will pass. I want to beg to thank you again. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you tomorrow, Ambassador Gaina Maina. My brother, keep Paris warm and brief us more about the temperature of the COVID-19, whether it has swept again or it is going down. We thank you very much. The new world order will not help Africa, but it will push dictators away. Thank you.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.